Good people, good people, good people. Welcome back to the Gumptown Podcast, episode 176. I'm Doug B. If you tuned in to this podcast, thank you for your time and your attention. I really appreciate you giving it a shot. Today's guest is the founder and owner of Quest Enterprise LLC. I'm looking forward to this conversation, and I'm sure we'll all be inspired by his story. Let's chop it up with Andre Hollenquest. Andre, how's it going, man?
Wonderful, wonderful. How you doing, Doug?
Glad to hear that, and all is well on my end too. First things first, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to chop it up with me. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Happy to be here.
Yes, sir. Of course, we'll talk about all the great things you got going on at A&K Quest Enterprise LLC. But before we talk business, let's get to know the man behind the brand. Born and raised in Wetumpka. What was your upbringing like?
Well, my upbringing is fairly good. I worked hard, started working hard at a pretty early age. My dad used to have me out when a lot of other kids was playing ball or sports or doing whatever they wanted to do on the weekend. I was busy with the truck, if you know what that is. Cutting wood and doing garden stuff, things of that sort. So I started working pretty early in my teenage years, 12, 13, 14. They're working early. It was a good life. It taught me how to work hard and, to be a provider. So I got that in early.
Yes, sir. That's great, man. And hats off to you, your dad for getting you out there and teaching you how to be handy early on. And like you said, versus hanging out and kicking it on the weekend, dad put you to work, man. So it sounds like you definitely had a great dad instilling those principles in you at the early age. So overall, growing up in a small town like Wetumpka, it's safe to assume you had a great village growing up when you was coming up.
I did. My aunties and uncles had a lot of everybody around here in the country where I'm from up here. We're all like family. I mean, everybody you meet, you're gonna call them cuz because you just grew up that close to them. So everyone helped raise, all the elders and older people. They raised everybody's children, and they were able to, uh, you know, I would say discipline or talk to people, children without any problems because the families was just that close together in the community. You know.
Yes, sir. No doubt, man. It definitely takes a village, and I love to hear those type of stories. I grew up in the country as well. I grew up in Wall, right outside of Montgomery, so I know exactly what you're talking about. You got aunts, aunties, grandma. Everybody had the green light to spank your butt when you was out of line, and
That's right.
and you look back on those times, and I'm pretty sure you can attest to this, man. You'd be so appreciative of that village for keeping you accountable.
Exactly, exactly. They made us. They held us to a higher standard. It made individuals out of us that got some morals and values. That we can instill to this next generation. So
Yes,
it's a very good upbringing.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. Appreciate you giving me a little background of your upbringing. So, when you finish up grade school, high school, graduate from high school, did you go to college, military, or did you go to work?
Well, I wanted to go to college, but as old saying say, if you fail to prepare, you fail to succeed. So I didn't do the things I need to do, colleges and things of that sort. Uh, Took advanced curriculum and everything in high school, but just kind of got laxadays and didn't prepare. So I ended up going into the military. And 2 weeks after graduation, was on train in the military. Went in the army, active duty army.
Okay. Okay. That hey, it's all good, man. I want to thank you for your service. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, being in the military, I'm pretty sure you got a chance to travel and get exposed to the world and all that good stuff, as well as serve the country. So, what's one or two cities or countries you got a chance to visit in the military that are most memorable to you?
I would say my most memorable duty station was Mannheim, Germany. There about 2.5 years, and I really, really loved Germany. Probably would have stayed, but I knew I had to come back here. My parents are a lot older. I was the youngest child, but my parents are up in the age. I had to come back here. Be around them as they age. But I love Germany. San Antonio, Texas was my last duty station, and it was an Air Force base, and I was Army, so I had the luxury life. And I was to go back to the real army after I leave here. So I decided to make that my transitioning place to get out the military. But I love Germany and San Antonio, Texas, two of my favorite places that I work.
Okay, sounds good, man. So while you was over there in Germany, did you try any exotic food outside of the norm, chicken, beef, and pork, or did you try something like kangaroo or something exotic?
No, not necessarily kangaroo. I used to like I think they call them gyros or something like that.
Hmm.
They have the fresh lamb meat on the roaster and they cut it off and put it on this bread. I don't even know what's the name of this bread, but put this cucumber-like sauce on it, and man, it was excellent. I like that. I like the fact that in Germany they had fresh butcher houses. Like you can go to the butcher house and buy beef or pork or whatever, and they cut it how you wanted it, and it was very cheap. So we did a lot of grilling and chilling over there in Germany in the military. You know.
Okay, sounds good, man. So it just sounds like you just kept it in the road. Like, hey, I can understand that, man. I wouldn't have been trying nothing exotic. I mean, I know I said kangaroo. I'm pretty sure they don't eat kangaroo. I just threw it out there because it's first thing that came to my mind. But no, that's great. You got a chance to travel overseas, get some exposure over there in
Right.
Germany. So overall, while you were in Germany, did you experience any like culture shock once you got there?
Um, that was a couple of things that was a little different over there, but I think overall, the friendliness of people was different from what I was used to in the United States. And I hate to say that because you want to say, United States was very friendly, but the people was just more down to earth, more calm, more inviting, and for some reason, everything was a party. So it's really it was a little different over there, a little different. But being in the military, we had to exercise a lot of caution, so we couldn't get too involved much outside of the military basis. While I was there.
Okay, sounds good. That makes perfect sense. And how long did you end up serving in the military?
I served for 6.5 years
Okay,
before I got out.
okay.
Hmm.
So in those 6.5 years, what are a couple principles you learned during that time that you still apply to this day?
Well, I would one of the main things I learned is integrity, and that's doing what's right in the absence of authority, in the absence of that's something that I try to in my daily lifestyle, in my business practices, is integrity. The second thing is professionalism. Whatever you do good, your ability. I think Martin Luther King had a speech one time where he said, if you're going to be a street sweeper, be the best street sweeper that you could be. Be a professional street sweeper. So, professionalism was a big thing I took from the military, and accountability, being accountable for your actions, being accountable for you, being accountable to those that are attached. All of those things were principles that stuck with me that are now uh, things in my life that I carry out and that I use on a daily basis.
Those are three powerful principles, Andre. Integrity, professionalism, accountability. Like those three right there intact, you can go far in life. Anybody can go far in life implementing those on a regular basis for sure.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, man. I appreciate you giving us a little background about yourself. But let's talk some business. Let's talk about what you got going on over there at A&K Quest Enterprise LLC. What services are you offering over there?
Well, A&K Quest Enterprise LLC, we are a roofing company. We are your roofing solution. If you need roof replacement, repair, you're building a new home, if you're subbing it out yourself and maybe you need a contractor for roofing, we provide, excuse me a little bit, I'm still a little congested from being under the weather, but we provide uh, asphalt shingle roofing. We provide metal roof, rear metal panels, standing seam panels. We provide flat roofing. There that you can use when you have maybe like a lot of buildings. These old apartments have the flat code and TPO, what they call it. Not a lot of people install the TPO, but we are certified and can install that. So we offer as far as our shingles. I am a Atlas Pro installer. I use an Atlas shingle material, which we offer lifetime warranties. The Atlas product comes with a lifetime warranty. Have good ratings for wind resistant, up to 130 miles an hour wind resistant, stain protector, fast impact shingles. They're really good against protecting against hail damage, things of that sort. Um, they also very the shingles that we offer are very uh, good design shingle, have a good curb appeal. A lot of people don't realize it, but when someone comes to visit your home, one of the first things they're going to see is your roof, and so your roof is going to speak of it pretty much is a forehand of who you are, the type of person you are. You want your roof to look good, make your house look good, and therefore that makes you look good. So that's just one thing that I like to tell people. Your roof matters, and uh, we have several things going on with A&K Quest Enterprise as far as what we can offer that kind of sets us apart from some of the other roofing companies. And you know, we have a lower overhead cost than a lot of big name roofing companies. I'm here. We're local. We're veteran owned. I am the owner. It's not some big corporate office, and with all these people they got to pay and whole bunch of trucks, cars, and vehicles. It's me. I have one other project manager that helps manage the projects that we have. So our overhead cost is low. Therefore, we're able to offer you better prices than some of the bigger companies with a higher overhead. We offer 5 year and 10-year labor warranties, depending on the shingle packages or the product that you choose to go with on that labor warranty. Where you get a roof with us, and let's just say it's one pack with a 5 year warranty, and in 3 years you see your shingle buckling up over here on this end or something like that. If it's not a defective shingle, and it's an installation issue or something where we did wrong, we're going to come back and we're going to for free. Absolutely no charge to you. Whatever we got to do to take care of it, we're going to take care of it. We offer each job project managed. We don't just send a crew out here and don't know uh, who's out there, or have a crew of individuals working it maybe not good with English, or speaking with the homeowner. We have a project manager for every job that we do. So there's always someone to feel comfortable talking to, asking questions, whatever you need to do, to make sure the project flows, to keep you comfortable and at ease with what's going on at the time we're working on your place. So we just got a lot going on. We do things a little bit service, the quality of service that we give, and all about making our customers feel at ease and comfortable. And we like to see the after effect for we a roofing job, and someone sees and how we do it, and they be like, "Oh man, it's so clean. Y'all cleaned up so good. It's like y'all never were here." We pride ourselves in doing a professional job because we want our name to stand out. We don't do something right, or we left it a mess, or a whole bunch of people was out there running around everywhere and nobody, the homeowner didn't know who to talk to. We want everything done in a professional manner and managed so that everybody's at ease and pleased with the job that they receive from A&K Quest Enterprise.
Yes, sir. That's some powerful stuff, man. Appreciate you for giving us a breakdown of what you got going on over there. Sounds like a all-in-one roofing solution company doing great things, man, and just
Yes,
putting the
sir.
customer, yes, sir, putting the customer first. That part about the low overhead, that makes a lot of sense, and that's good that you got. It's good that you were organized. Sounds like you were organized, and you came into this with a plan, and because I know a lot of time in business, well, at least I've heard from other people, like overhead can be a silent killer, but it's wise that you got yours situated, got a project manager, and man, it's just great to hear everything you got going on. And you are spot on. Like whenever I go to somebody's house, I do check out the roof. I'm like, hold on now, like you got a little, I mean, so you spot on. Like that is the first thing people see. So it's great that you pride yourself on doing a good job, being professional, cleaning up after yourself, and just making sure the customer refers you because hey, word of mouth marketing is number one form of marketing around.
Right, right. And touching on that referral, uh, two things I want to share with you. First, I want to talk about we do have a referral program, or what I like to call it, what we call it, is earn while you share. So, when and how that works is anybody, any individual, they do not have to be my customer. I do not have to have done a roof for them, but any individual can share a Quest Enterprise to another individual for roofing services. If A&K Quest Enterprise gets the contract and we complete the roofing job for that individual that you refer, then once you get the final payment for that job, A&K Quest Enterprise will pay the referee $300 cash money for referring our business to your friends, family, co-worker, or whatever. And you can do this as many times as you want. So if you share my business, for instance, if you share my business 3 times and we get contracts with all three of those individuals, and when we complete the roofing jobs, that's $900 cash money for referring A&K Quest Enterprise. You can't beat that.
Hmm. Now you
You
can't.
can't beat
That's easy money
that.
right there.
You can't beat that. And we have some customers who have referred the company 3 or 4 times, that keep doing that. We have one older gentleman from Tuskegee. He's referred the company, I think it's like his third time. And we took him a check a couple of weeks ago up there. And it's great to have people that trust you, that tell friends, or when ride by and they see somebody got a bad roof or something, they say, "Hey, you need to check out this roofing company." I like that, and that's what gets us business. Um, you know, for a year ago, and someone told them that A&K Quest did their roof, and a year later they say, "Oh yeah, so and so told us that you did their roof and work for." So refer A&K Quest Enterprise, and we're going to give you a reward for referring our company.
Yes,
So
sir. That's powerful stuff. Like you were saying earlier, y'all do things a little different. That's definitely different, man, in a great way, though. I mean, you're talking about word of mouth and just referring, and once everything go through, walk away with $300, man. I appreciate you for sharing that, man. That's great what you got going on, man.
that's right. We're gonna come to you personally, personally, and bring you your check for $300 for referring A&K Quest Enterprises. Is if you took the time to share, we're gonna take the time to come bring you your reward for sharing with us. And there's one a little bit different than a lot of other roofing companies. One thing about me, I firmly believe that it's better to give than to receive. And I believe when God rewards you and he will give back unto you. And, on that principle alone, I came up with the concept of giving discounts. I've never heard of a roof, but we give discount to law enforcement professionals, first responders, federal and state employees, and senior citizens over the age of 70. So, of course, we can't uh, enforce those discounts or imply those discounts unless the cost of the job exceeds what the insurance pays. But if it's a lot of people get paid for a lot of for that up front for those people that qualify for those discounts. And you can call us. We'll talk to you. We'll explain to you what we can offer you as your discount for.
Okay, sounds good, man. So those are two great programs, the referral program, the discount program, and man, I appreciate you for sharing that, man. That's some great stuff, man.
One other thing I want to share
Yes, sir.
is we also do finance. So I've ran into several people that have had insurance denial. Insurance denied their claim because maybe they had some storm damage that wasn't that bad, and the insurance might have gave them a check out, so they're spending money maybe for that what they should have been putting on their roof, and it comes 5 years later, another storm comes through, and now they got some real damage and they want to file a claim. Well, the insurance is not going to pay because you didn't fix it the first time. Interest we can get you signed up for. It only takes about 15 minutes to apply, and we can get your answer on the spot. So, you know, that's a good service also for those. Because a lot of people fall in that category well, to pay for.
Mm. Yes, sir. No, that's great, man. That's all three of those programs are definitely great programs, and man, yeah, you definitely set yourself apart with providing those for your customers,
Yeah.
sir. So whenever I have entrepreneurs on the platform like yourself, Andre, I like to talk about three things: the aha moment, action, and audacity. Take us back to your aha moment when you first had the idea to create this business.
Well, I started a home builder back in 2007, and I was building homes, and the market kind of crashed in 2008, if you remember, and but a lot of people knew that I was building homes and doing construction and things like that, so I was always getting calls about doing little work, and I started hearing a lot of people complaining about contracts. Oh, they didn't do this right, or oh, they too high, or they half do the job, and so I kept hearing all these complaints and all these complaints, and I was like, there's no integrity in construction. It's like people are just trying to make a quick dollar and get out, and I was like, I said we, but I was like, there's a need for a company or someone to come out here that's going to actually do what they said they're going to do and do it right, and so uh, I decided then to go back into construction. So I just started doing general construction, remodeling, painting, flooring, and all that stuff. And I kind of got to a point where I was like, this is good, but it was taking up a lot of time because I also work another job, a full-time job with the state of Alabama, law enforcement. So, I got to a point where I was like, this is a bit much. And I started trying to narrow it down to, what can I do with this business that still provide a good service and something in the construction area. So that we narrowed everything down to pretty much just roofing. And I think that was kind of the point in time. And I had good crews that was already had been doing roofing for many, many years. And we just decided, hey, let's focus instead of spreading out with flooring, painting, and carpentry work, sheetrock. Let's just go to roofing. And that was the aha moment. We went to roofing, and I got very blessed and very fortunate to bring a guy on board that had been in the roofing field and sales field for many, many years. And we just had lunch one day, and I told him about my business, about my vision, and he was all for it, and we joined together, and it's just been a go from there. So everything's been going very nice, but we honed in on roofing instead of trying to do everything else.
Okay. That'll make a lot of sense, man. That's a powerful aha moment. And just hearing you just talk about, excuse me, how it all came about and just being, just listening and just hearing people complain about bad work and people and their unprofessionalism that just gave you that spark to want to go into business for yourself. And also, you said something as well, just once you realize, hey, we got too many, we got too much going on. Let's specialize in one thing. And I know we hear this term jack of all trades. I mean, nothing wrong with that, but I like to think if you could specialize in one thing and be really great at that, man, you don't need to be the jack of all trades. This is my opinion, and hats off to you for being aware enough to narrow it down to just roofing.
Right, right. If you don't, you can overload yourself sometimes, and that's
Hmm.
what probably leads to a lot of contractors not being able to fulfill what they say they want to do or what they're supposed to do because they just have too much going. So when you can narrow it down to one thing and focus in that field, and it's easier to accomplish the mission and get the job done.
Yes, sir, 1000%. So from the time you had your aha moment and you realized you wanted to launch this company, how long did it take you to take action towards coming up with a name and getting the LLC and all the business stuff situated?
It didn't take too long. The name basically, my first name is Andre, and my wife's first name is Katie. So we came up with A and K because everything we do it together. So that's how we come up with A and K Quest Enterprises. And my wife is very, very knowledgeable of administrative practices and bookkeeping, accounting, finance, and all different sorts of things. And web page design. She designed my web page, everything. So it didn't take too long to get everything set up. With the help of my wife helping me with those things. So I would say probably you know once we got tax IDs and everything, we was set up and ready to go within maybe 2 months, maybe.
Okay, sounds good. Y'all got right to it, and hats off to the missus. Teamwork make the dream work.
Right.
Yes, sir. So that last portion, audacity, it's one thing to have an idea, put action behind it is a whole separate thing, but to put it out to the world to be praised or criticized, that's where the audacity comes in my opinion. Who or what gave you that courage to put A and K out to the world?
I would still say I got to go back to my wife.
Okay.
you
Yes,
know,
sir. Yes, sir.
because she is the one that stands behind me. She supports me, and sometimes even when I don't see the vision or I don't feel like I'm good enough to make it happen or whatever, she's always there saying, "Yes, you can. We got this. We can do this. You can do that," and it keeps me motivated to knowing that I have help, and I can go out here and manage a job all day, and whatever I got to do in construction, I can do that no problem. But a lot of other things, it's hard to try to keep the books and the purchasing, and it's just a lot of stuff. So when you have help, that really makes a big difference. So she's my fuel for having that. I'm gonna put myself out there. And, when I was looking at the business when we first started out, I kind of had a small vision, but you know, as time went on, listening at her and the suggestions, we should do this, and you need a web page, and you need to do this, and you need to do that. The vision got bigger. The vision got bigger. The company got bigger. So things just started progressing. As we join it together on this company.
Okay, sounds good, man. That's powerful stuff. It goes back to that teamwork, making the dream work, and like you said, like when you probably didn't think you were ready to jump out there, she gave you that motivation, that fuel to make it happen, Captain.
That's right. And I would also like to go back if I could and just I know he probably won't listen to the podcast, but
Nah,
I
go
like to
for it, man. Go for it.
I would like to put my father in there because my father is one of the hardest working men that I've ever known, and right now he's 87 years old, and he's still driving a tandem dump truck up and down the road, pulling a bulldozer backhoe, doing landscaping and clearing, and works from sun up to sundown. And he instilled in me the discipline, number one, to work hard for what you want. Don't nobody's gonna give you anything. If you want it, you get out there and you work for it. He instilled in me the principles of honesty. uh, he just was a good example of a hardworking man. And when people see me, one of the biggest compliments they can say, "Boy, you just like your daddy. You don't never stop working. You always working." But that's a big compliment to me. It makes me feel really good when someone said, "You're just like your dad. You always working." So he gave me that motivation and he told me, I'm gonna share this. My dad didn't have a big education. He had to stopped school at a young age, and helped take care of his family and things of that sort. And he didn't know how to read very well. But at 74 years old, he went back to school to learn how to read. And a about a year or so of going to classes, two classes twice a week, he learned how to read really proficiently. And he said one time, he said, "Boy, if I'd have had an education, I'd have been a millionaire because I know how to work."
Hmm.
So that was one thing that stuck with me. If you have the opportunity, get out there and work for it. And that gave me a lot of motivation to be who I am and do what I do.
Hmm.
I come from my
Man.
dad.
Man, that's so powerful, man. I'm very glad that you shared that because that's so much inspiration and motivation and just hearing that. Yeah. And first of all, it's a blessing. Your dad's still here, 87 years old, still rocking and rolling, still working, sun up to sundown, like you were saying. And even that part about him going back to school to learn how to read and just those principles that you instilled. Yeah, man, I'm so glad you included that portion of it, man, because it gave me some inspiration. It gave me just another kick in the gear. Like, you know what? Like, don't ever say you're too old or it's too late. Like anything you put your mind to, you can make happen, man. I appreciate you for sharing that about your dad and 87 years old, still rocking and rolling. Man,
Hey,
that's so
hey,
inspirational.
he will work me sometimes. I have to take a break, and he still go.
That's all right. That's all right right there.
Right.
That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Appreciate you for sharing that. So I know you were saying earlier you work in law enforcement, and of course you're the owner of this company. You're doing great things with both. So with all this on your plate, Andre, what do you do to decompress? Like, what do you do to relax when you're not working?
I love to go fishing.
Okay, okay.
I do a lot of surf fishing from the beach, and I like to do a lot of freshwater crappie. And the other thing that I do, I'm a musician for my church, so I spend a lot of time with music, playing the keyboard and things of that sort. So those are pretty much my free time activities.
Okay. No, that's good. That's great. That's great that you do have those things that you can do to decompress, fish, and play music for and be a musician for the church, man. That's great, man. Because like I said, I know you got a lot on your plate and working in the fields you work in and the business you run, and of course you're a family man. So that's great that you do have those safe havens that you can go to relax and escape. That's dope.
Right.
Yes, sir. So you've done great things with the business. I know great things are coming down the pipeline, which leads to my next portion, vision. What are some of your short term and long term goals for the business you feel comfortable sharing?
Well, short term goals is we're really trying to get the name out there more. I mean, one thing when we create the business, the name A and K Quest Enterprise. If you notice, roofing is not in the name because we actually started in construction when I was doing the flooring and all the different flooring, sheetrock, drywall, painting. We was actually in construction, so we pretty much kept the name the same, but we geared it to roofing. So sometimes there's a little distance with trying getting people to recognize that we are a roofing company. So we are trying to get seen a little bit more, get more known, advertising more. Is one of our big short-term goals, getting more advertising out there. And that's one reason I'm really thankful for you for allowing me to be on your podcast. I really appreciate that. And that's one of the short-term goal. Long-term goal, we just want to be a highly preferred and highly recommended roofing company in the Tri-County area. But we're not just a Tri-County area. We will go anywhere in the state of Alabama to do a roof. So we're not we have partners that we can work with, and we have subcontractors. We can go as far as Mobile, Birmingham, Huntsville, wherever. We're just not centrally located to this area. But in this area, we want to be one of the known names in roofing in this area. That's our long term goal. To be a highly recommended known name. Some people see some of the big roofing company names with all the fancy trucks and everything. That's all good and fine, but I want them to know A&K Quest Enterprise is the best roofing company that you can get, and tell somebody about A&K Quest Enterprise. So that's one of my long term goals: be the preferred roofing company in this area.
Okay, powerful short term and long term goals, and I have no doubt you'll make them all come to fruition.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. As we wrap up the podcast, Andre, I want to ask the $1 million question. I started this podcast because I wanted to highlight the greatness connected to the river region, as whether you were born here or lived here for a significant period of your life, be it college, military, or work, you being from the river region, still operating in business in the river region. I want to ask you, Andre, what do you appreciate the most about the river region?
Well, it's kind of a unique region. There's a lot of opportunity. You hear a lot of negative sometimes, but the opportunity, the reach of the river region area is large. And I like being centrally located where I am, and I just feel like that for the most part we got that southern how you want to say it, that southern hospitality, that southern welcoming feeling. Most people here are very welcoming and accepting, to businesses, and I think it's a great place that you could grow, you can expand, and I like the fact that people are unifying more and more in this area than what it has been. Even though we see the stuff going on with a lot of the violence and stuff in the street, I feel like that the people are beginning to come back. Where everybody else, some people feel like the river region area is losing themselves. I see it different. I see opportunity. I see a generation of entrepreneurs coming up. I see a vision for betterment if we all stick together and work together. Uh, this is a great place to be in the river region.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed, man. All powerful stuff. Everything you said is spot on. So, Andre, how can people connect with you? What are your social media handles and website?
Well, I'm on Facebook. You can just go in the search and type in A&K Quest Enterprise LLC. That'll pull up my Facebook page. My website page is www.akquestenterprise.com. It's my web page. You can find me on. I'm on Instagram, but I got to do some updating on my Instagram page. But those are the ways you can find me. If you need services, my phone number is 334-312-2927. I'm always free. You can give me a call, text, whatever. However you want to reach out, we accept it. My business is also on web, where you can go on there and look up my business on there if you want to also.
Yes, sir. Too easy. And of course, I'll put all of that information in the description of the episode. Hey, Andre, thanks again for the conversation, man. I really appreciate you.
Thank you. I really appreciate you, man, for what you're doing. This was a great opportunity, and keep up the good work, man, and providing these services to people. You're doing an excellent job. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Likewise. Good people, that concludes another dope episode of the Gumtown Podcast. In the meantime, in between time, y'all know what to do. Be blessed, be safe, but most importantly, have the audacity to be you. Gone.